Can you see us? Hey, y'all.
Oh, sorry, Abby.
You just stepped on the dog?
Sorry.
Bad dad. Abby, baby, here's your bed. She can't lay over there because we moved the thing.
Whoops.
All right, everybody get situated. Lay down, doggy. Lay down, doggy. Nobody will step on you if you're on your bed. How's it going today? We have had lots of issues over here in Whitney's world, in Jason's world. So let's start with the most important Ask Whit Wednesday question. What happened last night? You want to take this or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I do not know how to use MailChimp. And that's what we use to send out our emails. It said that we had 75 people on the list. It says that it sent out 75 emails. And it says that 48 people opened it. So I don't know what the difference is between 75 and 48, but those people, I understand, did not get the email so that they could log in to see our webinar. And I am very, very embarrassed and sorry that it happened.
If you were I've been doing a lot of research this morning. If you were one of those people, will you let me know what email service you're using, whether it's Gmail or Yahoo or something else? Because some of the stuff we found out, guys, is so. For instance, I registered, with a couple of different email accounts that I have just to try it out. My Yahoo account, I had no problems with whatsoever. My Gmail account was very weird. Originally, I didn't think I got the email that went out at 7:45 last night with the link in it. However, when I did a little bit more research this morning, I found out it was not in my primary inbox folder. It was not in my promotions folder. It was not in my updates folder. It was not in my forums folder. And it was also not in my social folder. However, when I went down on the left-hand side and I clicked
on the desktop, not on the phone.
Yeah, not on the phone. When I clicked all mail, it showed up. So it's hanging out in my Gmail folder somewhere, but it was not obvious until I clicked that it was even there. So we apologize for that, guys. We were trying something that was supposed to be easier, and it looks like it's just kind of totally just screwed and hosed everything up. So
we're sorry.
Sorry about that.
We we had 75 people that had registered, and there was between 30, 33, 35, 37. Like, there was a good chunk of people there, so we just figured everybody was on that was trying to get on, and I'm sorry, and we were in webinar mode, and so we did not check the group. Sorry. And we're right now working on uploading it. I went through and, we opened it. I started recording it too soon because I was afraid I'd forget to record it so that we would have a replay. And there's like 15 minutes of the beginning just hanging out that I was trying to cut off, and I may have messed up the whole thing. So this technology thing is not working very well with us right now. And luckily, we don't need technology to buy houses or I'd be SOL. Okay, so I promise we are working on it. What we've decided to do to make it up for you is we're going to do another webinar tomorrow night, and we will do we'll do it just the normal old-fashioned way. We will leave MailChimp out of the middle. You won't get any cute reminders to like hype it up or anything. It'll just be the regular old ugly emails that come from MailChimp. And because when we did the MailChimp for Jason's webinar the week before, when we did the Zoom reminders with Jason's the week before, we didn't have any of this trouble. So adding MailChimp is what threw the wrench in the plan. So we're going to do this again tomorrow night. If I can get last night's, if I can save it from the depths of my laptop, if I can get it up, we can put a replay out maybe tonight, but we're going to do a live reenactment of last night's tomorrow night on Thursday.
We got some good feedback coming in. Thank you guys for giving us. I'm gonna get that to a point in a minute on some of those things. Real quick though, the initial plan was we had, some free stuff and everything on the webinar last night that we'd only planned to do for the initial launch. Since everything did go completely haywire, you won't lose anything. Everything that was available last night in terms of free stuff and everything is still going to be available on this next cut of the webinar and everything. And again, we laughed this morning and said it's a good thing we know how to buy houses, because if we relied on our technology skills, we'd probably be dead ass broke. But anyway, sorry about that. And we had done some, what I'm so frustrated is we had done testing. We had done some testing on this stuff, and we didn't have these issues, but we're going back to the basics. So we know the stuff, doing it directly from Zoom, asking you to register there. We know that works. So we'll get that out, and we'll go back to what we know works and do that. I see a couple of people here saying, though, that they got stuff at like 5 in the morning and things like that.
And we found some stuff in the junk folder. So
what we found out with some of that is there were some defaults set up that you had to completely turn those off to let inputs work. And that makes no sense, right? I mean, if you put in stuff, it should work. It shouldn't restore back to defaults. But what we found out is some of you got those emails because the default says that from the time you registered, right, the emails were then supposed to go out, and I'm making this up. The first one goes out 6 hours after you register. The next one goes out 8 hours after that. And
what happened was we were trying to get fancy, and we weren't ready for it. So we're going to go back to old and slow in the way that we know how to get the emails out, and we know how to get the webinars to do. So Mackenzie's telling me when she got hers, and those are in the wrong order, and I'm sorry.
Total disaster.
Total disaster on our part. The webinar was great. I think for the 30 some odd people that were there, they really enjoyed it. They got a lot out of it. Messenger bots. We're definitely considering messenger bots because those little boogers. Whew, I like it, but we're having a little bit of an internal issue on that. But we will get this fixed. We're going to do another webinar tomorrow night. It will be much more streamlined. It won't be as long. We will not have the tech because we're just going to use Zoom and not use MailChimp. And all the freebies that were supposed to go last night will go tomorrow night. Everything's going to be the same. So y'all bear with us. We'll bear with you. We'll get it working. We did have 2 people join, so we have 2 new people in First Deal Done Fast, and it's going to be good. And yes, there was a lot of fear of missing out last night. FOMO was very strong in the group last night, apparently. And we'll try to minimize that tomorrow, and we'll take our whole little group over to Zoom tomorrow, and it'll be great, like it was supposed to be last night. So we do apologize, but moving forward, moving on, this is going to be fine. We will figure out a way to get this fixed and learn and grow and move and do. So let's talk about some real estate. Anybody have any real estate questions? Because I've been so webinar focused. You want to talk about some questions that we had last night? Or you want to save that for tomorrow night?
No, we'll save that for tomorrow night. It was good, though. We had, we went through material. We went through the 3 secrets. People were very complimentary of, the information and stuff that was shared there. We had a lot of people that commented, and I don't remember the exact names or whatever, but we had, no joke, 4 or 5 different people that commented and said, wow, it's all starting
to make sense
now, and It's all starting to tie together. And I think one of the things that people get frustrated with is, especially in the Become a Rockstar, we talk about different things, but until you see it on paper
or see it in the right order, because here you get it all over the place.
A real live example, and that was the thing. We walked through a real deal that Whitney and I did, and we walked through exactly what that transaction looked like for the seller, what it looked like for us, and then what it looked like for the tenant buyer. And that's when, after that,
people are like, when you can see the full picture, it makes a lot more sense. So, and if you were on last night's webinar, you're welcome to come back again tomorrow night. And if you can't make it tomorrow night, go ahead and still register for it, and we will work through the replay issues. All right. And we will keep doing this until we get it figured out. But I think tomorrow night's going to be the night. Right?
Yeah. Are we going at 8 Eastern again? Or
oh, jeez.
Are we starting a little bit earlier? Or
I would like to start earlier because we were at Waffle House at midnight last night trying to wind down. And we've got a VIP day on Friday, so we can't. We got to be up and at 'em on Friday, so we might need to start it earlier.
Okay. And maybe we post in the group and just ask people.
We'll put a poll up to see what time you want us to start.
I mean, I want to be.
Yeah, last night was practice.
I want to be. I want to be sensitive. Especially to our friends on the West Coast, but I also want to be time sensitive to the people on the East Coast that have to get up Friday morning too. So
us. We have a VIP day on Friday. I mentioned that. If you want to sign up for a VIP day, there's links in the events tab in the group here if you want a VIP day, and that's us working with you all day one Friday. All right, both of us working with you all day one Friday, talking about whatever it is that you need to get situated. That's what a VIP day is. But while he also mentioned the West Coast, we are having a workshop, a weekend workshop, where we'll have 15 or 20 in a room, and in Pasadena in California in October 13th, 14th, and 15th. So if you want to do one of our workshops, the next one is in October 13th, 14th, and 15th in Pasadena at the Hilton in Pasadena, and we will be right in there, and we will be in there helping you really explain and see the full thing in one big weekend. So if you want the link for that, it's whitneynicely.com/California, and you can go ahead and register and get signed up for that. If you're on the West Coast, we've got one coming up in December in Knoxville. You want to see my houses? You want to meet my people? You're going to be at the workshop in December in Knoxville. And then we have another one planned in January in Florida. So we've got 3 planned right now. You can pick whichever one you want. They're $497. It is per person. It's $497. So if you want to bring your husband, it's $497 times 2. And it's for the weekend. Does not include hotel or anything like that. I do feed you lunch and dinner on Saturday. Okay, so it includes 2 meals, $497 a person, and a whole weekend of learning about lease options. All right, but it's a side note. That's also in the events tab here in the group.
Yep, and there's some things there too. We've got some people that. We talked about the W3s. Got some people that are in, some of the coaching programs and stuff like that. That they said, what, all that's great, but it was so good to connect with you guys in person in that classroom atmosphere. For me, was really great. We got other people that said, hey, the online stuff is good. But I think for a lot of people, it was good just to meet some of the other faces and stuff.
Yeah, Cher's on right now. She came to our first workshop in March, and I think she'll tell you too. From talking to me on one-on-one on the phone, from having the videos in the background, and then being with me for the weekend, it's like a totally different experience, and you just hammer through all those questions that you have, and you get to meet and mingle and hang out with each other.
And share this one. You might want to come back to this one because I think we'll actually have Wi-Fi at this one.
That's why we're having it in California instead of Georgia. They've got Wi-Fi in California.
we had the first one at a retreat here at Berry College here in Rome, Georgia, and it's beautiful. I mean, the campus is beautiful. They've got all these team building things, but that's what they do. They have a lot of faith-based retreats. They have a lot of corporate retreats. And for that reason, they want people focused on what they're there for, whether it be team building, mindset, whatever the case may be. So they actually do not have any cell service there, I don't think.
They've got cell service, but they don't have internet.
I didn't think they had cell service.
They don't have TV.
There's no TVs.
And I didn't tell anybody that until we got there.
and there's no Wi-Fi. And I know, a couple of people were like, "You've got to be kidding me."
Gus freaked out. Gus is from Vegas, and he sent me a frantic message, and he was like, there are no TVs. There is no Wi-Fi. What are we doing? Where have you brought me? And I was like, you'll be all right. Look at the mountains.
So anyway, we enjoyed it or whatever, but maybe the berry thing's not for everybody. If you just want to come and learn though, and you want to focus on real estate, it was fabulous. So we had fun with that.
But we're October 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a W3 Whitney's Weekend Workshop in Pasadena, California at the Hilton Pasadena. It's $497 a person, and you can go to whitneynicely.com/California and get your seats, bring your whoever you want. Jennifer Hillegas is at all of our Rome workshops, and she's coming to California too. And I was like, you could do a VIP day here with me in Rome. She's like, I just want to go to California. All right, come on, let's go. Whatever you want, I don't care. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. If you want to book a one-on-one day, or if you want to do one-on-one coaching, that's fine too. Send me a message and let me know about that. We are going to be opening group coaching. We made that announcement last night. We're going to be opening group coaching again. It's been closed since the end of June, so like a month and a half it's been closed. We're going to open it up probably tomorrow on the webinar after we get all of our technology kinks out. And we'll be doing some more onboarding with that. You'll see lots of announcements about it, so nobody will miss an opportunity to get signed up if you want group, if you want the new program that we came out with last night, if you want one-on-one, if you want to do a whole day. Let me know what you want. We've probably got something that we can get worked up for you here in the next week or two. Maybe not a VIP day. I think we don't have another one of those available until September. We'll get you figured out, all right? Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, anybody else got any real estate questions for Ask Whit Wednesday?
I feel like we went over all the questions last night, and we're going to go back over them again tomorrow night on the webinar. I will set up a regular Zoom link. Everybody will get regular email reminders from Zoom, and it will be beautiful. And neither one of us will want to kill each other or, anybody else. Right?
That's right.
It's good team building over here to do these webinars together. I thought it was good team building to buy apartments with him. This whole webinar thing is like on a different level. All right, good. Well, if there's no other questions, we're going to let y'all get back to your day. We're going to go grab lunch. We're not going back to Waffle House, although that was a fun experience in itself. You need the Zoom app. Yes, you do need a Zoom app. If you go to zoom.us on your phone, it'll ask you to download the app. Yes, that's a good tip there, Alex. Yes, you do need the app.
Alex, were you able to make it last night? Were you on?
I don't think so, but he had a good question earlier. He ordered the book bundle and got 2 different lead sheets. And the difference in the lead sheets is that the green one that you get is much more formal and it's much more laid out and appropriate. And Mr. Corporate over here is behind that one. The white one that you get is much more flowy and natural and better. And we came up with both of them.
I think the green looks better. Don't you?
The reason the green ones are green is because I want you to print the lead sheets on green paper. That way when you're flipping through a big stack of papers, you can find the green lead sheets, okay? That's a secret. I want you to put them on that green paper because that's where the money comes from. Those lead sheets, leads go into deals, deals go into closings, and that end money starts with the green lead sheet. She's snoring?
Yeah.
Okay, so we send it to you in 2 different ways on purpose. One, so that you have the definite, more formal approach, if that's how you like things, and the more natural, flowy approach, if that's how you like things. All right? But also so that you can see that these need to be printed on this shade of paper so that it's easier for you to find it in a stack and you automatically start to correlate these lead sheets with money.
So Dina's got a good question here. She says, is there a site that tells you all the programs that you have going on and the prices? There is some different pricing for different products and stuff on the website. The reason we didn't do that is we were originally doing that, and maybe we should start doing that again, as we would, fill up group and have to take it down and things like that, we found ourselves, making calls, people saying, hey, I want the group. And then we're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's not available now. And they're like, well, it's on the website. And so part of that may be we just need to do a little bit better with our maintenance and stuff.
You can go to whitneynicely.com/shop. I can type that in here. And that'll take you to everything that we have available in the store. But we do not put the higher end stuff there. The one-on-one, you definitely have to have a call with us to be able to get into one-on-one. We have to approve you for that. The group, we want to take a call on that just to make sure that you're going to get out there and go and do what it is. But we can add these to the store. We can do that.
The other thing too is, Dina's somebody that contributes all the time or whatever. We can always, if you want to send us a message, we want to take care of everybody, especially the people that contribute, all the time. I think I told, Karina that the other day. If you want to book a brief call with us,
to see which program would be better for you.
Sometimes it helps us to know exactly where you're at, right? And usually we can tell just by talking to you where you're at, which of the programs is actually best fitted for you. Because that was something we found out on the webinar last night, right? We had people at all different stages. I mean, we had people that, have thought about investing and done some research on investing, but they've never really taken any action to even get started yet.
I think that's because they didn't have a roadmap to follow, which is what we give you.
We also, had some people that have tried it and either, they didn't make it all the way through the process, or maybe they did a deal, but it was a bad deal, and so they don't want to repeat that same mistake again. And then there's other people that said, hey, I've done some deals, but they have just absolutely wore me out, and I want something that's easier. I want to know how to do it better, and that's one of the things that we talk about on the webinar, and we're going to get into originally is we talk about Whitney's backstory, right? Because it's important to understand the evolution of how things happen, right? And one of the things that we talk about there is when Whitney first started, she was given information that said, hey, this is how to generate leads. But that was it. It was just use this to generate leads. And she had tons of leads coming in, but her conversion rate with contracts just wasn't there. And that's one of the things we hear people all the time say, well, the problem is I'm not getting people to agree to owner financing, or I'm not doing it. The problem is you're talking to the wrong people, right? And so that's
you're talking to them too fast.
That's how, and I guess we can just go ahead and do it now, right? Secret number one is finding the right motivated sellers, not just finding sellers. How do we find the right motivated sellers? Because if I can get the right people coming to me, my conversion rate goes from here to here. Now you're never going to get to a point where every person that responds to you or that you reach out to gets a deal. That's never going to happen. But there are a lot of ways to make sure that you're talking to the right people, and then that conversion rate will be much higher than if you're just trying to follow every lead that you can. And that's why
that's when you end up chasing your tail.
If you've ever heard Whitney talk about the one-liner, right? That's something that she came up with. That wasn't something she was taught. That's something she came up with. And when she first started telling it to me, I was kind of like, the world. I mean, she has lost it. She has absolutely lost it.
It was the same reaction I got when I told him I was going to start buying houses as to when I started talking about my one-liner.
No, I thought you were wasting your time when you first told me about buying houses like this. I thought you'd just gone off the reservation when you told me about the one line. Because she's talking about this and psychology and all this stuff she learned, and I was like, you got a screw loose or something. But then, once I finally, shut my jaws and actually listened to what she was saying, and then when I saw it put to practical use, it was amazing. I mean, the results were amazing, and the people started, we were getting free leads a lot of times from people we didn't know because we were telling them exactly what we wanted it, and we were doing it in a way where they could understand it. And I never understood that before. You know, I mean, we were wearing our buttons in the grocery store, and people were, you know, stopping us. Or what, you know, you buy houses. Hey, I got so and so, and they got this and this and this and this. But a lot of the leads were dead end leads for us, right? We'd reach out to the people, and it just, you know, wasn't something that they were interested in. But once she perfected that one-liner, and once we began communicating in a way that it made sense to people, we started getting the right leads. And that made all the difference in the world between trying to hustle and just absolutely kill yourself and then following up on leads that you know have you headed in the right direction.
The one-liner is one of the bonuses for the course that we put out last night, and we don't even list it in the bonuses. There's a whole section of bonuses that we don't even go through. We gave bonuses on the webinar, but not the actual course bonuses.
And in the we talked about the one-on-one workshops. In the one-on-one workshops, we actually have exercises where we learn about the one-liner concept, and then we actually role play, right? So we role play where, you know, one person's going to act as the buyer, one person's going to act as the seller. So we go through negotiating contracts and all stuff like that. But we do go through the one-liner and how that can help us generate leads and things like that. So
you can't see it right there, but that's the exercise for the perfect one-liner. And that the perfect one-liner, I think, is an option that you can just buy off the store there if you want it.
And I don't think we.
But this is the workbook. I don't know if you can see this. This is the workbook that we go through at the workshop. It's like 60 pages that we go through.
We don't have any of my practice stuff, do we? When I was practicing with you. So I told everybody last night, I said, when I first started, you know, I thought that Whitney'd be helping me out with all this stuff because, you know, she
sink or swim, baby.
She's like, no, you got to screw up just like I did. So I was like, okay. But she did let me practice on her. So before I took the first few seller appointments, it was hilarious because we'd sit in the living room and, you know, she would be the seller and I was going in to talk to her. And, oh my gosh.
Talk about nerve-wracking.
If we had some of those calls, we could add that as like an entertainment bonus or something because, oh my God, looking back on it, I'm pretty sure I was probably pretty terrible. The first 2 or 3 I went on.
But you were cute.
Well, that's not selling them on anything. But, you know, that's not part of their pain.
We forgot to put our buttons on before we did the show.
We hadn't left the house today. We don't need them yet.
We're talking to people. We're out. We're on the public.
Yeah, they know we buy houses.
Maybe they're watching at work and their people don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't think about that.
We don't have our uniform on. We're up too late. Anyway, if you want the perfect one-liner, I think it is at this store. If you really want the perfect one-liner and you want first deal done fast, you get the one-liner included in one of the bonuses for first deal done fast. And that's what we're doing the webinar on tomorrow. If I can get the replay to cooperate, we'll put the replay up tonight. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Y'all have any other questions? A little accidental rampage there.
Yep, sorry. It happens.
Shit happens, man. Y'all have any questions?
No questions. I guess that means everybody's getting tons of leads, tons of seller appointments, and lots of tenant buyers, right?
We gave the website out at the end of the webinar share. I don't know if you'd already signed off by the time we did the freebies, but the freebies are in the course. You should already have those freebies, but I'll check. They probably went out in an email. Damn emails. All right, if y'all have anything you need, post it up in the group. We'll see what we can do about it. Hopefully there's not any email issues. I'll put the link for tomorrow's registration up as soon as possible, and we'll just do the best we can. Bye, y'all.